Needs only this ring to cover all the lands in darkness.
What must I do?
Ring must be destroyed.
The ring must be cast back into the fires of Mount Doom.
There is evil there that does not sleep.
Sauron's forces are already moving. They will find the ring and kill the one who carries it.
Go! Come on, Frodo! Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring. So, me and Rennie Cage this month, we're starting our next movie series review, and we're starting off with The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Been looking forward to rewatching these movies. I've never actually got to review these movies, and these are some of my favorite movies of all time. This was, along with like Harry Potter, was my Star Wars growing up. I saw the first Lord of the Rings movie when I was 10 years old. Came out in 2001, and then I would watch every movie after that. I remember at the end of The Fellowship of the Ring, I yelled, "What?" in a theater because I thought, I was like, okay, alright, the Fellowship's broken up, now what's going to happen? And I wasn't expecting the movie to end right there. I thought the rest of the movie was going to play, so I was pissed as a young easy. So, you know, Lord of the Rings is the fantasy movies of all fantasy movies. It's kind of revived and I guess killed the fantasy genre for a little bit. But, you know, fantasy and sci-fi are some of the categories of films that I love the most, but it's also the films that I'm the most hard on. If a fantasy or sci-fi movie is done right, then I love it. And this movie does such a great job with the characters. I think each character really embodies the character from the books to the movies. I mean, from Ian McKellen as Gandalf the Grey, just such a cool character. I mean, Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn, a guy who has a troubled past and is he knows what he has to do, but he doesn't want to do it yet. He's the reluctant hero. But then you have the characters of the Hobbits. The Hobbits are all cast perfectly, from Pippin and Merry, the two hooligans a little bit in the Shire. Then you have Sam, who's just that loyal best friend. I'll talk more about Sam when I talk about Two Towers and Return of the King. But I mean, the moment where whenever he's drowning and Frodo saves him, and Frodo's like, I gotta do this on my own, Sam. And Sam's like, no, you're not. I want to call your bluff right now. Goes in the water, basically almost drowns, and that basically forces Frodo to pick Sam out of the boat. And it's a good thing he did, because if not, Frodo's not a character we should probably be following. But I love that moment in the boat when he says, I made a promise, Mr. Frodo, a promise. Don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee. And I don't mean to. And then Elijah Wood as Frodo Baggins, such a cool character. And all the kind of the set pieces. I mean, the Nazgul chase, the battle on Weathertop, the Balrog scene with Gandalf versus the Balrog. You cannot pass! You shall not pass! And then when Gandalf dies, you're just like, oh my god. But then also Sean Bean, like, when he dies, and you're just like, damn, and they play that music. The Howard Shore score for Lord of the Rings is one of the greatest scores of all time. But every score is done to perfection. And like I said, guys, I love Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. I'm looking forward to talking about the other two. I'm looking forward to talking about this movie with Rennie Cage on the Easy K Show in a couple of weeks, so check that out. So guys, I'm going to give Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, A+. And also you got you got Cate Blanchett as Lady Galadriel, one of the coolest opening scenes of a movie. Hugo Weaving as Elrond. I mean, this movie is cast, and Christopher Lee as Saruman. So many. Liv Tyler. I mean, there's so many people to talk about in this movie that I don't have enough time to talk about. But we'll talk about all in the spoiler review of this film coming out in 2 weeks on the Easy K Show. So check it out then. So guys, have you seen Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring? What are your thoughts? Comment below. Let me know. Guys, if you like this video, click thumbs up, subscribe, see more, tell your friends about Easy Nation. All too easy.